Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 21. Jump into things. Alright, so the war heats up with Sarmatia. Let's see how things went for us this turn. We have completed Alteration 3. That's good. That gets us Mist Form, which isn't going to help a lot against Sarmatian Oirapatas, but it will help give us more freedom for raiding. The focus on our Vanjarls as thugs, right? Mist Form is very, very crucial for assisting them in surviving province defense. So that's very good. And we have completed Enchantment 1. This is going to be useful for if we need to. Pushing out lots of chaff with reanimation. Ashok the Anointed of Ruax has claimed the throne of the first stage. Cool. And Svart 1 has found a magic site, and then Jade Zork 1 has found magic sites in Sren of the Lord. So we got a Cave of Ghouls. This is cool. You can put someone in there, a Death Mage, to summon ghouls. We might very well do that. And then it's also a +2 Death Gem site. Very nice. And then Jade Zork 1 has found 2 Bile Marshes and a Well of White Water. I think it's dumb that you can have 2 of the same site in a province. So that's a little meh. And Biomarsh, I think, is a little meh in the first place. Biomarsh allows you to recruit. It'd be one thing if it was an enter site and you get them for free, but that's not it. It allows you to recruit Hydra hatchlings, which are interesting and can be utilized in some interesting ways, but I don't want to have to pay for them, right? That's not like the balance of this is poor. No, that's just a personal bitch. Like, I just don't want to have to pay for them. I'd rather it be a summoning site than a recruitment site. And the fact that we got 2 of them, kind of meh. And they don't come with anything else. There's no, like, additional, like, oh, you get a nature gem, and no, there's just, you can now recruit Hydra Hatchling. The Well of White Water, though, is a Water 1 site, so we got 2 Death, 1 Water, Ghouls, and Hatchlings. Cool. We've got some battles. We're just going to go down the list. These are especially important. We've got a battle in the Tower of Heavens. Okay. So this was... I don't actually know what this is. This is just I had 1 PD here, and this was a Hell Herding that had routed. So this is going to be very anticlimactic. These Oirapatas are going to destroy this stuff. All these phantasmal warriors just going to their death. Oh, I think one of them got a hit there. Alright, easy peasy. We've got a battle in Phalacia where Marverni has attacked Tirnanog, and this is just Marverni taking his cap circle back. Tirnanog, something they've discussed, is perfectly fine. And this is the pirates, the mercs that we didn't get. So we have been attacked in High Peaks, and this is just province defense, nothing doing. Tirnanog has attacked in Menace. We watch that. With another mercenary group. This is the barbarian group, but unfortunately, he ain't having that shit. Now, these mercs could definitely take on this PD, right? But they are not going to be able to take on these Oirapatas. Well, if they can just take on these Oirapatas. Barbarians have very low attack skill. I say very low. It's very average. It's 10. They got that one. They only have to hit once, in fairness. but they're already getting... Ugh. They're getting chewed up as is. Yeah, they didn't even make it past the PD with the archers and everything. Barbarians hit hard, but they have low morale and they break easy. So we didn't even get the big Oirapata squad into the fight, so... Unfortunate. That is a loss in Menace. We did lose, or we did. Sarmasha did lose one Oirapata. Whatever. There's another attack in Gifa by Tirnanog. So this is another group of Tuatha warriors, and this is a fair amount of province defense. We've got some Sarmatian archers and some raiders and even some lancers, but we've seen Tuatha in action. They are not gonna go down to something like this. Nice job. Tuatha kick ass. Lost to Tuatha. Took the province of Gifa. Nice. We were attacked in Laria. And this is where we actually had a stack. So he has a little stack. We have a little stack. And here's the bad thing though. He brought his prophet here. So he's got a little extra oomph compared to what we're rocking. In the form of smites. So, we pop out with our stuff. We got some smites dropped. Run in. Two groups meet up. We actually kill a Oirapata and rout the warrior sorceress almost immediately. And that would be it. That would be it. Done. Dunzo. Fight finito. But he brought his prophet, so his prophet is sticking around, tossing smites in, which the smites don't end up doing a whole lot, but what they do end up doing is another Oirapata. What he does end up doing is being leadership, right? He doesn't break, and then we're sticking around, right? And then our fucking PD guy breaks. Like, you little bitch. And then we get smacked. A big old chunky hit. 27. Unfortunate. So I think we had a good idea here in anticipating that he would raid outwards with small groups. And we were going to try to catch him with a little bit of a small group of our own, along with some province defense. We didn't really do anything about the province defense. We probably could have bumped province defense there, but it was whatever. But unfortunately, just the single inclusion, I say single inclusion, of his prophet cost us that fight. Otherwise, we would have won. So, well, happens. We have battle in Ard, where we are attacked. Again, this is another little Oirapata group. And it's just PD, so we know what's going to happen there. Easy peasy. And then we have attacked in Glimmering Fields. So we've got a very small contingent here, just 3 Hell Herdings. Not much on the board against us, though, so let's see what happens. Our Hell Herdings ride out and immediately rout. Like, what? This guy has Battle Fright. And he gets... I don't know if he got it just then. We can check. Check. If he started with it or if he just got it. Yeah, he started with it. So he started with Battle Fright. And he gets hit by an arrow and pops his glamour. Right there, he got hit by an arrow, popped his glamour, and checks morale. He's got HP missing. He's upset. He run. Ooh, wait, was that? Did they both have? Maybe not. Maybe this guy was the starting guy that had Battle Fright, and this guy just got hit and got Battle Fright. regardless, either way, these boyos are out against basically nothing. And then our Hearse 5, the Van Hairs, comes in and says, Y'all are dumb. We got this. And he does it by himself. Nicely done, Hearse 5. So we still take Glimmering Fields, even though our 3 Hell Herdings immediately rout. So, okay, that's cool. Good. We had an unexpected event in Dendra Nigra. Local slave lord is seeking absolution for his sins. He donates us some virgins and a chest of gold. Got some blood slaves and some gold. Very nice. And we can't harm the Glimmering Fields. Okay, so about what we expected for the majority of this turn. We expected that Sarameshid would go out in all directions to try to recap his provinces, to allow him, funds and resources and things like that in order to be able to do anything, basically. We were successful in hitting Glimmering Fields, and Tirnanog was successful in hitting Gifa, which means his recruitment is stymied in those locations, which is good. We are going to need to get back into his provinces and be able to raid it, basically, repeatedly, to stifle his economy and prevent him from being able to get back into the game effectively. We're doing this through a couple of different things this turn. So we've got a lot of people in his territory, and a lot of that actually over here. Scout 2 is gonna keep an eye on Gifa. Hearse 10 is actually heading over to Saramesha to see what's going on there, and we're going to be pulling because there's no way that. Actually, you know what? It's the question of, do we sacrifice a hearse? Because if we have no one on Iron Will, Magic Resistance 17. What does he got? Tough Skin. Tough Skin's good. This is a difficult decision, right? Because if we move off, well, no, it's not a difficult decision. Well, if he doesn't have anything to challenge, nah, there's no way. There's no way he's not going to leave one of his only forts on knowing that all I have here currently. He's not going to leave that undefended. He's going to attack. So it's pointless to try to not or to hold that. So I think what we'll do is we'll head down to Laria, perhaps. We're bringing back other individuals into our territory, and let's talk about some of what's actually happening in our territory. So we did a mass recruitment of Jarls this turn because we knew that we were going to have a mist form. We're going to put that to work almost immediately, and I am going to anticipate losses. I would assume that we are going to lose things here or there. I would assume that we're going to lose things far more than here or there. But we need to have pressure sources, and a few Jarls in the beginning, I think, are going to be viable pressure options. We're not going to do this constantly. We're not going to flood his lands with Jarls and only Jarls. But initially, we are going to do some stuff like this, where we attack with Jarl 1 into Ard, and he has no support. We're not bringing these Hell Herdings. Why are we not bringing these Hellherdings? Because we have seen that on average, 5 of our Hellherdings and a Hearse or a Jarl versus 5 of his Oirapatas and a Sorceress, that's a loss, generally speaking. Now, we win sometimes, right? We get lucky sometimes, but more often than not, they are going to be victorious. So, we're not gonna take those fights. That's pointless. Why would we do that? If we're gonna lose every single one of those, why would we take those? Or not every single. If we're gonna lose more often than not, why would we take those? So we're not gonna. What we are going to do is we're gonna start storing up stacks of Hellherdings, because 10 Hellherdings can take on 5 Oirapatas. Sure. So instead, what we're gonna do is because 5 Hellherdings and a Jarl can take on 6 province defense, or a Jarl, reverse the way I say that, a Jarl with Air Shield and Mist Form can more often than not take on the same amount of province defense as 5 well, probably not. We can take on low amounts of PD with the Jarl. Let's just, boom, summation. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna try that, and it's gonna be a scenario of either he's gonna need to put province defense into his provinces, or he's going to have to hold his provinces with little stacks of Oirapatas, which he might do. A clever man, and he might be clever, might not be a man, who knows, a clever individual, a clever person would anticipate, I'm Helheim, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna raid, right? A clever person would anticipate that they just took back a bunch of their provinces. Now I'm immediately going to counterattack and start raiding those provinces. So there's entirely the possibility that he leaves a stack of Oirapatas here. If he does, this Jarl is dead, all but guaranteed. So we will see how that goes. If he dies, he dies, right? Obviously, we don't want the 260 gold to go down the drain, but we need to challenge the information and the idea to see what he's going to do. Because immediately afterwards, right, we have Jarl 3 and Jarl 4. Jarl 3 is coming up to Brightgate, Jarl 4 is coming up to Wise Spring Grove, because we're going to start pestering and poking with these Jarls. Now again, I don't plan to send wave after wave after wave of Jarls up into Sarmatian lands, especially not ungeared, unsupported, etc. That's just going to be a money sink. But we are going to have a couple of them doing this for now to try to keep the pressure on. Because again, if he only puts like in 1 province defense, or even a low amount of province defense, 6 PD, I think these Jarls can probably take that more often than not. So he's gonna have to do either more than that, or he's going to have to hold his lands or anticipate where I might raid, and we'll see how it goes. So in the meantime, what else are we doing? We are recruiting more Jarls, we're recruiting more Jade Maidens, Herdmen, right? Lots of Herdmen. We're getting to the point to where we're going to have decent-sized stacks of Herdmen, and this is good, this is important, right? Because we lost this battle in Sarmatia, right? So he is going to be able to come back into the fold, and what we have to do now is we have to outproduce him, right? He's got 3 fortresses. We've got 4 fortresses. We have to raid his lands to hurt his economy, and then we have to outproduce him with our infrastructure so that we can bring an army of 3 or 4 times his size, right, to bear on Sarmatia and force a big fight, because it's going to have to be a big fight. And that's about all that we are going to be able to do. So, that is where the majority of our money is going. Herdman, Van Jarls, Herdman, Van Jarls. And we're getting to the point, we've got 30 here, we've got 15 here, we've got 10 Jade Maidens and 2 Herdmen here. We're recruiting 5 Hellherdings and 3 Herdmen per turn here. So this is gonna boost up relatively quickly. But we're also adding reanimation to the mix. Now we're not spamming it. We're not going crazy and doing a massive amount of castings because he's not moving yet. If he starts to move, then everybody that has death on our side is going to be producing fucking reanimation, basically. Because we'll need the chaff to survive a big battle with him. But we are going to go ahead and start doing it monthly with this Hellcarl, just because that's going to give us a decent basis, right? And because, again, we want that siege chaff, we want that combat power, etc. We're continuing to push up Conjuration. We'll have Conjuration 1 done and close to Conjuration 2 done. The aim being to get to Conjuration 3 for mainly lesser air elementals, but also we can utilize lesser earth elementals or even lesser fire elementals depending on where the battle is and who is involved. Thanks, Loki. So that adds immediate combat power to us, right? Which we need. And then we didn't get the mercs that we tried to hire this turn, but that's okay. We are also looking at other options, right? Right now, we are recruiting this a Van Jarl because we need a couple more people to send out into the field or to ferry troops around and things like that. Or to, if need be, suddenly blood hunt, because that's an option that's on the board. But after that, we might actually go back to utilizing Svartalfs because that is an option for us to kind of use against him. And specifically what I'm talking about is Earthmeld. Okay? So Earthmeld is a mini Maws of the Earth. Maws of the Earth is fantastic. It's very good. But Earthmeld is a mini Maws of the Earth, basically without the damage portion. And we can cast this, right? Every single Svartalf that we produce can cast Maws of the Earthmeld, right? And Earthmeld is great against basically elf cavalry, which is what we are, right? It's great at hitting cav and screwing up their day because it prevents them from moving or attacking, right? And you break up the formations and they're stuck in the ground. They can't really defend themselves very well, and cavalry tends to be not incredibly strong. Right, if we take a look, it's strength plus a roll versus 23. If we look at an Oyrapada has an 11 strength versus 23, they have to roll really well to get out of an Earthmeld, right? So, Earthmeld is on the table. We've already got 3 casters for it that we can pull together at any given time. We have to be careful, right? Because if we Earthmeld our own soul, it's not a friendly only spell, right? You know, it'll hit. It's just in an AoE. It'll hit your people, right? So you got to be careful. But if you basically like push, and it's short range, right? But if you push the lines all the way forward, right? And you have your Svartalfs there, then they can kind of, at the very beginning, go like, Earthmeld, you know. You give them like a gem or 2, and then they'll do Earthmeld, and since we're going up Conjuration 3, once we hit that, we'll have Summon Earth Power, and they can do Summon Earth Power, Earth Meld, and they can fucking do a lot of shit for a while at that point. But that is an option to help us get through the Oirapata mass. This is going to be a long, bloody war, right? We've hit that point. It's going to be a long, bloody war. We've got to accept that. And we might have to accept, right? Right now, Tir Nanog is very much like, yeah, I'll take the north half of Saramatia. You can take the capital and the southern half of Saramatia. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. I might need you to take the capital. And we might miss out on that, right? We might feed Tir Nanog power. But what it gets for us is it potentially gets us the southern provinces. And depending on the situation, if Tir Nanog is able to pull together forces and do that, then well, truth be told, it's probably going to be a better plan than just getting worn down over time by Saramatia. Alright, I think that's going to be it for the turn. I'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.